Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Budget Pale Moon deck profile for standard format May 2020. With the follow-up from the Oracle Think Tank budget deck profile, I figured I'd make a budget deck for the main rival of Misaki Toguro from the Vanguard series, which is Asuka Narumi and her Pale Moon Circus. It's a really awesome deck, and I wanted to focus on the units that are definitely affordable for people looking to play Pale Moon, because it can definitely be a pretty expensive deck overall with cards like Silverthorn Dragon Tamer, Luquier, and also Golden Beast Tamer, and just the overall support, because now we have the upcoming Venus Luquier coming out. And so I wanted to focus on more of the affordable units, like I said, from the other sets like Gun Salute Dragon, because I actually never got around to making a deck profile for these cards. I focused more on the Nightmare Dolls with the latest support and the original Pale Moon support when it first came out in the strongest AL4 booster pack. But this is a really, really fun deck still. If you're looking for something affordable, it works very, very well just for the purpose of building up Soul and then using it for your end of stage grade 3 setup. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the grade 3 units, I'm running 4 Gun Salute Dragon, end of stage. Once per turn on Vanguard Circle, at the end of the battle that attacked, if your soul has 0 cards, put 2 cards from your hand and all of your rear guards into your soul and stand this unit. And on Vanguard, when placed by riding from a grade 3, so blast all of the cards from your soul until end of turn. This unit gets plus 5,000, and your opponent cannot call Sentinels from hand for the battle that this unit attacks. So with that pressure, you have the restriction to stop your opponent's Sentinels, then just being able to set up that big power you can do with your Gun Salute Dragon. You can just hit for that power, stacking the triggers on this unit as well, and then restanding it for the easy cost. If your soul has 0 cards, putting 2 cards from your hand and all your rear guards into the soul for that restand power. So you definitely want to invest in this attack as one of the last attacks after attacking with all of your Pale Moon rear guards. It definitely was overlooked by a bunch of other cards for the other sets. But basically, it just helps for that pressure that you can definitely do. If you're looking for a fun Pale Moon deck, this is definitely your card to go for, just for the restand aspect. If it definitely is heavy investment, but with some of the other backup grade 3s and other units, it definitely pays off in the long run. And for the backup grade 3s for the deck, I am also running 3 Miracle Pop Eva. With this one on rearguard, when placed from Soul, if your Vanguard is grade 3, draw a card and Soul Charge 1. And when rode upon, counterblast 1, draw a card, and one of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So with the plus 10,000 with your Gun Salute Dragon end of stage, you just have that power boost that helps when the restand, if your opponent gets a trigger. Having the plus 5 with this card along with the plus 10 from Miracle Pop Eva means you can at least, hit your opponent. If they get 1 trigger, you'll still have enough power to go up against your opponent if you didn't get any with the setup that you have with your Gun Salute and also your Miracle Pop Eva, just for that overall power you can do with this card. Definitely does help for the overall setup and plays that the deck can do, but you just have other options with this card for that plus 10,000 power. When you have the other setup with the Soul and some of the other cards we run on the deck, it's just an added boost for sure for those units. And I'm also running, to finish off the grade 3s, just 2 Artillerymen on Vanguard or Rear. During your turn, this unit gets plus 3,000 for each card in your soul. And on Vanguard or Rear, once per turn, put 2 cards from your hand into your soul and draw a card. So you have the draw power as well with this card. And on Vanguard or Rear, when an attack hits, counterblast 1. If you do, put all of your cards into the soul into the drop zone. So it just helps when this unit attack hits for that counterblast. If you do not put all of the cards, it helps for the setup of your Gun Salute, since it has to have 0 cards in your soul. So if you invest with the plays of building up some other cards in your soul, you can at least use your Artillerymen to help with the first attack if you're going to have other cards be put into your soul for other plays, using Artilleryman for that counterblast, for that pressure, so then you at least have the empty soul to go off of the play, because you have to have none in the soul for Gun Salute Dragon to work. So just a big help for sure, taking advantage of the play that would normally, kill the Pale Moon deck, but help for the overall setup of having the no card soul, which you can easily then just replenish later with other cards also, if need be. But the pressure of the restand definitely does come first. And that is it for the grade 3s. Moving on now to the grade 2s. I am running 4 Magical Box Streamer. On Vanguard, when your opponent's unit's attack hits this unit, counterblast 2 and discard a card from your hand. Call up to 5 cards from your soul to rear. So if you know you can get this play off, you don't want to call any other rear guards. You just want to focus on this being your grade 2 Vanguard with the soul set up. Basically, then your opponent's either going to have to attack this unit, knowing you might get that potential damage as well, and the potential call of a bunch of units from your soul onto the field for you to use for your plays, which also helps just for emptying out the invested soul of end of stage, because then when you're soul blasting the rest of the soul, everything else is already out on the field for you to use, and you don't have to worry about losing anything that you could potentially call out. And during your turn, if Magical Box Streamer is in your soul, this unit gets plus 3,000 power. The power plus is a big help for sure when attacking, but the call out rear guard effect is your main go-to, because I've seen a lot of times also that my opponent just isn't going to attack into this card. They don't want to risk me getting too many units out, especially if they saw me setting up all of my units in the soul for the attack I would take against this card. And for more soul setup, I'm also running 3 Nitro Juggler. On Vanguard or rear, when placed from hand, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, put 1 from among them into your soul, and put 1 from among them on the bottom of your deck. So just more soul setup with this card, especially with some of the other cards like Magical Box Streamer, being able to set up another one in the soul using this one. It just helps for that soul setup that you can use for your plays, and just having that option with Nitro Juggler as one of the more affordable backup grade 2s to run in the deck for those plays. And to finish up the grade 2 units as well, I'm just running 3 Misdirection on Vanguard or rear when placed from hand, counterblast 1, and put a grade 1 or less rear guard into your soul. Draw 2 cards and put a card from your hand into your soul. So it just helps to get more important units into your hand that can help for a lot of your different plays, or if you're just looking for the specific grade 3 that you want for the play to go for, especially when searching for the Artilleryman for the empty soul play there. Misdirection just helps to sift through all the different cards in our deck so we can get to the specific ones that we may need for some of our plays. And that is it for the grade 2s. We'll now move on to the grade 1s. I am running 4 Starting Presenter. With this one on Vanguard or rear, when placed, you soul charge 1, and when wrote upon, put a card from your hand into your soul and soul charge 1, and you may call the soul charge card to the rear guard. So just more setup with Starting Presenter. For that setup, it just helps to get more and more cards out onto the field, plus just setting up the soul for some of our other grade 2 units in the deck is a big help for sure. So we can have plenty of cards to call out with their effects when going against the pressure play for our opponent. It's definitely one of the best ride targets for the grade 1 lineups. The other one being more for the setup of our soul cards as well, which is Midnight Bunny, which I'm also running 4 of. With this unit, on rear, when it boosts, you soul charge 1, and on rear, when the attack it boosted hits, counterblast 1, and put this unit into your soul and call a non-grade 1 card from your soul to the rear guard. So with a lot of our plays, the big one being the Miracle Pop Eva, call to rear, draw a card, and soul charge play, you can rely on this card to you can basically call out Miracle Pop Eva from the soul, and then just giving you that additional card to attack with after placing it into the soul to go for. But also remember, the best play is also to have the Artilleryman, so you can empty out the soul if your Vanguard is Gun Salute Dragon, so then you can have the empty soul as well for the play to rely on, and then putting all those cards for the pressure play, because then you'll use them again for the restand of Gun Artillery. But you just need another card, because the main plays for Pale Moon is still calling out units from your soul onto the rear guards, and Midnight Bunny is definitely one of the most affordable and easiest cards to use for those plays altogether. And since it is the budget version for Pale Moon, we are running the grade 1 Sentinel. You can put in the discard draw when wrote upon on the Vanguard just to have another grade 1 ride target. I just have the entire monkey from the first set, just as, it could be any of those Sentinels if you're running for the grade 1 spot. If not, Hades Hypnotist can be the draw trigger spot, which we're running in this deck also, but it's just player preference up to that point, depending on what you want for the lineup. Definitely more affordable depending on whichever one you pick. They're both around the same price also. And to finish off the grade 1s, I'm just running 2 Dark Metal Bicorn. Just another good boost target especially, or ride target, just being the 9K. Doesn't have a shield, but being able to ride this card if your opponent doesn't call a booster, depending on what card they use for their first ride target. And if they're attacking first, they can just hit, and then having that 1 to pass comes in handy with the Dark Metal Bicorn for sure. And then moving on to the grade zeros for our starter, we're just sticking to the Entertain. Messenger was the first starter for Pale Moon. Same effect, along with the new shield effect we'll be getting with the changed errata for all the starters very soon as well. And for the trigger lineup, being more budget and just more overall balanced, I decided to go with the rainbow triggers. So 4 Poison Juggler and 4 Hoop Magician for the critical and the front triggers. The front triggers especially don't come in handy as often if you wanted to move it to the 8 critical. If you're liking more and more of the gun salute plays, just being the pressure of the Vanguard, and you want to give all the trigger effects to gun salute, then you can change the front triggers to the additional critical and run 8 critical in total. But then for the rest of the lineup, just running the 4 draw trigger for Rainbow Magician and also the 4 heal trigger Candy Clown to finish up the total trigger lineup. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I just wanted to give some more love to Gun Salute when it came out. It wasn't really paid as much attention to, sadly, just for it not being as good of a Pale Moon card compared to all the other grade 3s we have, but still a very, very fun deck to try out and test for sure if you're looking for something a little more budget friendly. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.